Hello, my name's Peter Mortimer, and at the start of this whole pandemic, I began to write a daily column for the Journal, a morning paper in Newcastle. I realised what a strange world we were moving into, and I thought I'd try and reflect that in some way in the writing. So the writing is sometimes satirical, sometimes absurdist, hopefully comic, sometimes serious, sometimes angry. But different aspects of the pandemic I tried to reflect on. So I'll do three of these. And the first one I'll do it on is Friday, April the 17th. Early on in the pandemic, people were worried about what was it all about. Nobody knew what it was all about. There were some conspiracy theories, and one was that it was to keep the population down. So this kind of reflects that kind of thing in a humorous way, hopefully. And it's a conversation. A call comes through from my local health centre. And how are we today, Mr. Mortimer? Well, I'm okay, not sure about you. And just a routine check, are you displaying any symptoms? Symptoms? An itchy ear, but no, not really. You could qualify for preferential treatment. Preferential treatment? Those of a certain age. You are a certain age, aren't you? I certainly am. We could express you onto a corona ward. Express me onto a corona ward immediately, a precaution. Then you may be eligible for our spoilt for choice scheme. What is that? It's an exclusive ward where you can relax. No worries about the huge stress, responsibility of a future choice may put upon you. You sign the document, no more worries. What choice? What document? The big choice. One you shouldn't need to face alone. We are here for you. And the document? The document giving us permission not to resuscitate if we felt it necessary. Resuscitate? But I'm not ill. We call it preventive medicine. You want me to let you knock me off whenever you feel like it. Oh, no, not resuscitate. Only if we felt it necessary. Not resuscitate. That could just mean you do me in when I'm asleep. Please think about it. I get it. The government hasn't got enough equipment and protective clothing to go round. And to cover up, they've worked out how to get rid of the most expendable people. Only when we feel it necessary. We'll check again tomorrow. Meantime, stay home, protect the NHS, save lives. Goodbye. Early on in the pandemic, by the way, the first 100 columns are collected in this book, Planet Corona, now available. Early on in the pandemic, the city centre was like Newcastle city centre was like a ghost town. There was hardly anybody in it, and we were discouraged not to go. So I thought I'd go. And this is my experience in the city centre. A very strange experience and nothing like city centre I'd known before. Only essential travel reads a sign, but I want to write about the city centre mid-pandemic, and that's essential. My first time on a metro in a month. As many checkers as there are passengers, yet social distancing dictates no checking. There are more checkers at Haymarket, but passengers go straight through the open barriers, unchecked. Life has become absurd. At Haymarket, there's a small street cleaning wagon. It's whirring brushes, desperate to suck up litter, but there's none to suck up. Northumberland Street, I sit eating a pasty from Milligan's and attract the biggest crowd of the day. 10 pigeons fighting over the occasional lobbed morsel. Most shops closed. M&S open, curiously. Also Sainsbury's local, Superdrug, and the shop no one likes, W.H. Smith. Archville and Ashley's Sports Direct, closed. Only one rough sleeper. Strangely, he's on his feet, chatting to 3 coppers, pleased to have something to do. At Gray's Monument, his Earlship looks down on an almost empty Grey Street, whose Georgian curves are unrivaled anywhere, according to the poet John Betjeman. Shattering this eerie quiet, The pipe layers, pneumatic drills outside Pret-a-Manger. No buskers. Granger Market just about open. It's one entrance guarded by two functionaries. Which stall are you after, they ask. They slink off. High Friars Lane along Tyneside Cinema, normally al fresco coffee and cakes the year round for Tyneside hipsters. Not a table, person, or double shot latte in view. The Lane Gallery, poster, advertisers, a never to be seen exhibition. William and Evelyn de Morgan, March to June. How sad. No pubs, cafes, restaurants, galleries, cinemas. And the leading question, where on earth can I pee? Several big news stories during the pandemic, which were sort of related to it, half related to it. The sort of George Floyd death caused enormous shockwaves around the world, and for a long time, it still does, I think. And in a way that this reflects that. But sometimes the article or the column touches on more than one aspect, as does this one. So this was Saturday, June the 20th. Richard Kirkman, he of this parish, suggests a new corona drug, I would say we didn't have the full vaccine by this stage, should be called umbrage. Everyone would feel better, says Richard, after taking umbrage. Audible groans. And so we say our sad farewell to Vera Lynn. I enter a small plea that we might use her death as a marker, the date on which we ended our unhealthy and debilitating nostalgia for all matters World War II and got on with modern Britain. As far as I could tell, every other nation has already done this. To help cushion the economic effects of the pandemic, £100 billion is to be invested into the economy via quantitative easing. Despite an honours degree in economics, I remain mainly confused of colour coats. Where does the loot actually go? Is it simply swallowed up by capitalist institutions, banks and finance houses, which have served us so well in recent decades? How about a few quid cash in hand to us lot? If only for a slight cheering up of a nation at present wandering in gloom and confusion. Boris Johnson is getting £1 million to repaint his plane. I know several local lads who will repaint your house for not much more than £500. Come on, plane really costs more, or the same as 2,000 houses. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab has lost the plot with his remark on people's symbolic kneeling. This has nothing to do with the Game of Thrones, curtsying to the Queen or Raab's proposal of marriage to his wife. In a city centre street in full public view, a murderous policeman knelt for more than 9 minutes on George Floyd's neck and suffocated him. The revulsion of this act is what leads millions of people to kneel, but not so Raab.